brush that you are supposed to use to brush your tongue. Okay, fine. They say Oraimo brush. If you don't have money, there are other cheaper ones. Now, the point I'm trying to make is simple as that. It will save you from what we call halitosis, which is mouth odor. Then armpit. Hello? If you have the power, please shave. Hello? I know some men like hair in the armpit, but it's very few. Shave. Cut your nails. If you know you're handling food, cut your nails. This idea of fixing long rings when you are just giving birth, well, God will help you. Because I don't know how you wash your bum if your nails are too long. And you know that if you are washing bum, you are supposed, especially those that use wipes, you are supposed to wipe how? How? Front, back. Front, back. If you are wiping from back, front, you will pack number 2 and put around number 1. If you are married, during sex, the man will help you pull into the vagina. Then you now start fresh problem. It's so many, but I will stop here because of time. I want to give room for small question and answering. If you have any question, please, in the few things I've said, you are free to ask question. Thank you very much. I still have time. Oh, splendid. Yes, so let's continue. So, I stopped at armpit, then I went down to the bumble, and I said what? Wipe what? From front to the back. This is important. Because most of you, once you sit on a water system, you do your hand like this, and you wipe. And you know that the number 1 and number 2 are closed for women. They are closed. So if you are not careful, you'll be moving everything in number 2 to number 1. It is very, very important. Now, let me talk about this for a while. A lot of times, some of you are fond of doing something. Should I talk about it? No, it shouldn't be mentioned among Christians. You understand? So let me leave it. Let's not go here too. But there's a particular habit most of you are used to, and it's dangerous. I will let it slide. If I'm late, I'll come back to it. Now, let's go to washing of the hands. How many of you remember during COVID? How are you supposed to wash your hand? Who can demonstrate it for me? Quickly. Quickly. Another 1,000. How to wash your hand? There are about 7 steps. If you cannot get the 7 steps, just don't waste your time. Okay, now, the simple way is this. First and foremost, we want you to use liquid soap, right? There's a reason why. Because we don't want too much contact. So once you wet your hands, you apply your soap to your palm. So the first one, you go palm to palm. That's 1. Palm to palm. Number 2, thank you, sir. Number 2, after doing this palm to palm, you can now go interlocking. Interlocking. Then you go circle. You're washing the tips. Circle. You're washing the tips. Then you go. You wash the space. Now, you see, the truth is this, but that's to tell you that the hand you're washing, you're not washing it well. If you're not doing this step, then you go tongue. Tongue. You go back. Then you go wrist. This is the 7 steps. Now, during COVID, we make sure everybody in the hospital learns this because you'll be handling people. Now, we discovered that hands is one of the best ways to transfer organisms. So, when you're dealing with people, you want to handle food, you want to serve people, you must start with this. You must start with this. Because you see, at the end of the day, if you don't do this, you are not washing it properly. Then no woman should be cooking for you with her hair exposed. Simple sense. They will tie whatever they want to tie, let them tie it. You understand? Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Then, another thing is this. For those of you that believe that you want to take care of children and you go and take your bath and you use towel to clean your face, and you know that the towel you use to clean your face has cleaned your bum, right? Or you used to mark where you clean your face with. No, that's it. The place you use to clean bum. Some of you do like this. That's the place you use to clean. I'm telling you what happens. And that's why never you leave the toilet and assume that your hands are clean. You say, one girl, look for what? What's your better? You say, that. The handle door, has anybody come to clean it for you? And there are people who will use toilet, will not wash their hand, and will open the door. Or when you get to your door, you shout, "Sheep!" You don't open it. It doesn't work like that. And that's the reason why, before you put anything into your mouth, wash, don't assume. Don't assume. And you know, we do COVID shaking now. We polish. Some of you still do bros and fuck. All those things, you don't know where the person's heart has entered. So, these simple tips, as useless as they may be, has led many to the hospital. And I want to talk to the women very well. The last thing I will say before I drop. Currently, we have one issue that is trending. And the issue is male performance issue. If you discover BP and hypertension and sugar issue used to be for the elderly in the past. Now, you'll be seeing young boys of 28. I have somebody who is 28 years who is on BP drug. I have a 19-year-old who is taking BP drug. Now, you'll be wondering why. Some people say it's our sin. It's not really, I don't really agree, because there's nothing we are doing now that's new. Sodom and Gomorrah has done worse. I think it's the things we eat. It's the things we eat. If I ask you what is a correct food for you, some of you will say, okay, fried rice and chicken with beef and a cold tea exotic. The question is, what is tea exotic in there? It's not water. It's tea exotic water. But the thing is, some of you, if you've not taken mineral, you have not completed a diet. And you see people take, I have somebody who, the day is not complete until he or she takes hope. And one of the most dangerous drinks that you can have is what? I'm not spoiling their market. But you see things that are sugary. Please take note of it. And I want to talk passionately about our women. I have one, my boss's wife, when I was studying my service here in Bombay. We're talking about BP. The one day she stood up. She said, "Thank God, me, I don't cook with salt." I was shocked. Because our soup used to be very sweet. You don't use salt. She said, "You're a very good cook." Until one day, the husband now told me, "I don't just want spoil and show for your presence that day. If I buy one packet of no, you know they do 3 days." Yes, that's what the husband told me. So, and I said, "How manage?" He said, "This is what she does. If they buy beef, they want to cook. The woman will put 4 no cubicle. You know, no is 2. Yes, that's 8 cubes. You use it to boil the meat. When she finishes that, and she wants to fry the stew, she will put 2. That is 4 cubes. Then you will now add the meat water inside. So 12 cubes. And in 1 cube of salt, it has been estimated that you have about 10 tablespoons in 1 cube of Maggi. About 10 tablespoons is what of salt is what is used to make it. So multiply 10 times 12. It means you are taking 120 tablespoons of salt. And he did one experiment. You know they use salt. You know they use salt. And he did one experiment. They brought a he-goat and they kept the he-goat and they kept giving the he-goat water with Maggi. After about 6 months, the he-goat cannot perform. He cannot perform. And they were wondering. So somebody just said, stop, change the water. Immediately they changed the water. After about 3 months, the Busuru started behaving like so. So the only thing is that they have not been able to prove it in humans. But we discovered that excess Maggi has a way of incapacitating men. Most of you think that you are DT or Shibi. Go and learn how to cook with natural things. 1 or 2 is okay. When you start loading your husband with Maggi and it's sweeting him in the mouth, it will be killing performance in the night. The Lord will help us all. Thank you very much. So, just briefly, I don't know if you have any question, whether related to this or not. At least, let me give you 7 minutes. Any question? Yes, please. Okay. You have to coordinate it, please, so that
we are going to take all questions at once. So that one answer will not lead to another question. I cannot keep it here. You have to go after. So everybody who has questions, please stand up. So I will give you number and wrap all your questions at once.
So if you have questions, can you stand up please so that we can see you? If you have questions, please can you stand up? Please let's move out. Let's move out. Please come out to make it easy. Come out.
You made mention of, is it foreign objects should not be introduced to the vagina? And if I'm not mistaken, you said vaginal wash. So my question now, there are some companies that these are feminine wash. So the question now is that, is it advisable to use feminine vaginal wash?
Okay, thank you very much. You see, one need to be very careful now because before you know that, you see this on social media. I'm not spoiling anybody's company. And if I know very well, what they try to do is that those correct ones, they try to mimic the same effluence that is coming out from a normal woman. That's what they try to mimic. This particular one, Oriflame, what they did is all the normal things that are supposed to be, even the pH of the vagina, they try to mimic it to be around the same range. So that even though you're bringing something outside in, it will not be foreign per se. Now, they did that because they had knowledge. And what is the knowledge? The knowledge is this. I told you during my speech that the vagina has what we call natural hemostasis. It's like a delicate balance. God did it in such a way that it's supposed to be at a particular pH, a slightly acidic pH. I don't want to be too academic, but it's around 4.3. Thereabout is a range. So now the reason is because that slight acidity is supposed to help you fight bacteria and organisms that are not needed there. But you see, how many companies are like Oriflame? Most times, even our women here, there's all kinds of concoction, kaya matter, and the likes that they introduce to catch men. Those things in itself may not be catching men, it will be catching the women. Because what they mix there is not healthy. And they do, and you see, most of you know these things more than me. There's what they call Gorontula. In Bambam, where I did work, you will chew it, you give it, they use it to do a series for you. When you check the content they mix, sincerely, even your enemy, you will not give it. And they'll say, okay, kisa, and then you do it. At the end of the day, you will not catch the man. Then you now start developing problem. So we are very particular about the things you allow into that part. And that's why we insist that even medicated soap, you're not supposed to use it to bathe. Except if you are working in abattoir. The question is, where are you going to that you are using medicated soap? Some of you are using very powerful medicated soap and you don't have any infection. You say you want to prevent. And that is why I say this, they should forgive me. All this antiseptic wash that you have, be careful with it. Because you see, when you start using something you don't need, you are now making your body used to it. The organisms get used to it. The day you need it, they will just start and be looking at you. It's the same problem we're having in the medical world now. People just swallow antibiotics. I was surprised when I heard that they use ampiclos to abort baby. Who do that? And you swallow. Then the day you need it, ampiclos will be looking at you. It will not work. Then you will say, what you did yourself. So, and that is the thing. I don't want to really go deep. If we are talking one-on-one, I'll be able to call names of things for you. But just for legalistic purpose, let me stop here. Thank you very much.
So my question is, those students that take energy drink, that what is the effects on the body?
Thank you very much. The truth is this, and I want to say this. I've also been a victim of this. It's almost impossible for you to be a medical student and you don't take coffee. Is it that you drink coffee or you drink, what is the name of all these things? Let me know call names. But you know them. Now, in those energy drinks, you have about 40 grams of sugar. 40 grams is like counting 14 tablespoons. Estimated. If I carry 14 tablespoons of sugar, I give you, I say, take drink. You say, this man won't give me jeji. That's what you conclude. But those are the things that is infused in the energy drink, in addition to other things. I have a very young guy, I think we're about the same age. What killed him is energy drink. He's a very active guy, so he doesn't leave his house without taking energy drink. And it is fearless. He loves fearless. I hope they will not come and sue me for this. But I'm telling you real life story. Now, the problem is not that he takes it alone. It's that he uses it to replace water. Anytime he's thirsty, give me cold. He does one or two things. Give me cold. So before you know, even he became fearless. And that was the end of his story. So, and thank God we are laughing. But the fastest way to get kidney stone or to kill your kidneys is to be feeding on energy drink. It is a very dangerous. Once a while, yes, no problem. But when you make it your lifestyle, there are people who cannot do anything now until they take it. There are some married men, if they don't take energy drink, they cannot perform. How long will you do that? That's why by the time you are 50,
My question is, medically, how are we as male expected to take good care of our body? And my second question is, our body. So, my second question is, what is the right time and duration needed for people like me or people to go for checkup?
Thank you very much. You see, it's only in these climes, in this part of the world, that we believe that it is when blood is coming out of your nose or blood is coming out of your ear or bum bum, then you see them running to the hospital. The truth is, no machine works forever. No machine does that. No matter the brand. You need intermittent checkup. This check that they just now, they have to go on this short duration and somebody has done something to it. And that's how it's supposed to be. Your heart is a machine. And it beats from the day you were born till when God said it's time. But the thing is, the African man believes once you go to the clinic, you are wasting money. It's a bad orientation. They would rather believe, okay, money that should I use and buy shawarma or chop burger, I'm giving this useless man. The problem is the orientation. Once your orientation is bad, even when you are 70, you will not want to go to the clinic. Now, normally we say, once you're exceeding 40, hospital should not be far from you. That means at least 3 to 4 times a year, you come and do 1 or 2 checks. As it is currently now, once you're 30, we start doing sugar for you. Because we discovered that the way we feed now in this generation is not the same way our daddies fed. On a good day now, our fathers those days, they will trek. They trek to the market, trek to the school, trek to the farm. Almost 3 hours of walking. Then when you come, you give them natural food from the farm. Fresh vegetables, dry fish, iru, they put small salt. Ojeti ready. Come and check what we eat here. We take Hollandia yogurt. Then you take, some of you who have money, you buy this round thing, pizza. Then later, you drink Coke. Then you go and stay where generator is on it. Then you stay inside, again a bed. You are inhaling smoke. In the night, no fan. No natural tree around you. And you continue that circle. Then before you know, you put tom-tom for mouth. You see, all those things. They say, now waiting bed, they chop, they take fly. And that's why you see them at 90. They are still doing like this. You at 40. You don't ask doctor if they get bracelet. Where do they keep you straight? It's the food you're eating. Go and check the alcohol they take those days. It's palm wine. But Henneken now, 33 lager. All those things that you see, they are not like they are not fresh. So you have a problem already factored in our progression. So it's as if they are programming us for early demise. As it is in Nigeria now, life expectancy is about 54 or 53 point something. If you live, you reach 53.
Glory be to God.
Glory be to God. You have done well. But is that how it was? Check the scripture. That's not how it was. But it's the things we are doing. So he also said something. Now, how are men rather supposed to take care of themselves? The truth is, a young man, one thing you must not take away from a young man, you must not be sedentary. As I big so, I still a job. Yes. God don't bless me, I agree. But I still make sure I jog. If I cannot jog, I do aerobics in my house 30 minutes. Because it's not about weight loss, it's about fitness. Fitness. Sometimes you stand in the theater 4 hours straight. You finish the first one, you are going home, they call you again for another 4 hours. 8 hours of standing. If you are not fit, you turn patient. So the truth is, as a young man, you must eat well. I mentioned some basic things about dating, cutting of the hair, cutting of fingernails, drinking water. Please don't joke with water. I know a lot of times, some of you think drinking Coke is soft life. It's the hardest life if you don't know. And I call Coke, with due respect, it's not just Coke. Any sugary content with energy drink, cut it down. Cut it down. Sometimes it's discipline. You don't go down. It's training. I had to learn it the hard way. Especially when you have money. You learn it. It's not that you spend it, you have money and they say, Okasi, cold Martina. You say, no, I want to drink water. So I hope I've answered your question. Thank you.
Sir, my question is this. You're saying something about drinking mineral and so on.
There are some persons that whenever they are kind of sick, there are some sicknesses that they don't need drugs. What they need to do, they'll just kind of buy 7 up and pour either alabukun inside and they will take. But is it advisable for such? That's why. And secondly, people that are taking alcohol consistently, like on a daily basis, I have people like that at the garage. Today, morning they will take, afternoon they will take, evening they will take, the next morning also they keep taking alcohol consistently. Is it having any effect in their body? Or not? That's okay. Hold on. Also, when I came to the guy, I discovered that most of those guys they are used to taking mineral all the time. And I kind of maybe I joined them. I love mineral so much.
Those two.
So they said, I don't think they do. Coke. So they said, since you are working in a garage, you cannot compare a mechanic or an engineer that is working in a garage compared to a person that's working in an office. AC all the time. You are working inside heat. So as you are working with your body, the sweat that is coming out is taking away that sugar. So I don't know how obviously is that. And lastly,
I hope I don't forget the question.
you spoke when you came. The first question you asked was, "What's the dirtiest part of the body?" And you spoke about, and you answered the question by saying the tongue. And actually, you did not really enlighten more about that.
Okay, so the first question, you see, it spoke about alabukun, right? It said some people don't take drugs. The question is, alabukun is what? Yeah?
It's drugs.
It's drugs.
It's drug.
That's just it.
It's drug. So they mix it with 7 Up and they take it. But alabukun is drug. So what he's trying to say is that some people don't go to the hospital to consult and take proper treatment. Yes, you see, funny enough, our bodies are different. Do you know that if your genotype is AS, for instance, malaria will not be happy with you. Mosquito, they will not be happy with you. Because those people don't easily get malaria. Malaria, which is transferred by the female Anopheles mosquito, he loves fresh blood. So now, for those who have sickle cell, they are at the mercy of stress. Once the mosquito comes in, it scatters their body. Those that have fresh blood, mosquito like them. But you see, those that have in between, you have fresh, you have sickle, it confuses the mosquito. So they don't like it, and that's why most times you will never see them in the hospital. But make no mistake, everybody, sooner or later, so long as you're on this earth, you will need help for the body. Because this body, from the day you're born, you start what? Going down. That is the truth. You start going down. So you will need support. Yeah, you see, he said that some people don't take drug. The question is, what is food? Food is drug. If you want to know if food is drug, don't eat for 1 week. You will know that food is drug. But it is not chemicalized. It's not the way they capsulize it. And even the Bible mentions something like the leaves are for the healing of the land, of the people. So this ephedrine you use, you think it's not medicine? It's correct, Agbo. All those things, they help you. And that's why we are talking about eating well. If you eat well, for instance, like if I say what's a good food, some of you will be calling chips, no. Correct vegetable soup with pounded yam and water. That is a correct food. Then you have orishirishi on it. That's a good food. But you see, most of you want to take ice cream, pizza, what's this one? Pringles, shawarma. All those things are what is pushing us into trouble. So, the second question. Okay, let me just answer them as I remember. You said something about those in the garage. It's very correct. The way you eat as a banker is not the way a mechanic will eat. But make no mistake, Both the banker and the mechanic, they need carbohydrates, which you get easily from sugar. That is the drink they drink. My own point is this. Do you know that you can actually tell them to make cold, sweet zobo? It's still far better than this our Coke that we have. Coke has some form of caffeine in it that makes it addictive. That's the point. Don't think that it's just you that like Coke. They've worked on it such that once you take it, you want to take. Once you take it, you want to take. And you're already under a spell. You don't know. You're taking your money to buy problem. In the long run, you that is in the office and you that is in the garage, if God does not help you, you see land at the same point. So it doesn't matter whether you are breaking stone or you are writing with pen. If you eat the wrong thing and your body cannot withstand it, it will affect you. So I appreciate the fact that you sweat. Yes, for those who sweat, that's why he's like this. He's not like me. Because he's burning those things he's eating. But it doesn't mean that his organs are finding it funny. Because that you are looking fit outside has nothing to do with your organs. You see somebody who is slim, is dying of heart failure. You see somebody that cannot walk. His heart is very well, but he's very big. When you go and do the test, you check, you discover that the one that is big, his blood fat is okay, his heart is working well, his kidney is good. Then the one that is slim, that you think is well healthy, is the one that has problem. So sometimes it's not by size. It's not really by size. The question we are trying to portray here, or rather the point we are trying to raise here is that try at an early phase to begin to make correct selections in the things you eat. And you can, the women, you can help the men. You understand? It's the things you eat and cook that you give your husband and he will eat. If you cook rubbish, a woman who likes to go to the kitchen will naturally cook food and give the husband. But if you are the type that is giant, you say, okay, let's go here today. Tomorrow, let's go there tomorrow. Then the man will be following you. Then before you know, you start having issue. What's the next one? You talk about the tongue. Yes, you see, we came to the point of the tongue being the dirtiest part by the number of organisms, microorganisms in the organ. If you're bitten by a dog that does not have rabies, we are not worried. In fact, if snake bites you, we are not worried. But if human being bites you, in the hospital, we are extra worried. Because you see, in the mouth alone, we have thousands of microorganisms. Thousands of it. And that is why a lot of times we are even afraid anytime you have injury in the mouth. Because for some of you, if you wake up in the morning sometimes, you've not eaten, just the breath that comes from your stomach will be smelling like poo. Yes. Where do you think poo comes from? It's from outside. It's from your body. And the body is your stomach. And what is connecting the inside is the mouth. What is bringing it out is the anus. So the tongue has several, in fact, name any kind of organism, is in the mouth. So that is why we say it's the dirtiest part. We are not saying other parts are not dirty, but we say in the mouth, there are lots of, especially in an unkept mouth. Some of you don't brush. You don't. You believe in using chewing stick. Chewing stick, as wonderful as it is breaking one cardinal rule, which is fluoride. The meat. Fluoride is like an antibiotic, semi-antibiotic kind of. So, and that's why when you brush your teeth, you are not supposed to rinse it. You understand? You are looking surprised. Yes. Listen, I'm not supposed to be teaching you about how to brush teeth. But you see, you can put small water, but some of you will carry 2 pure water. You have scattered the whole point. The whole point is when you put your toothbrush or your toothpaste on the Maclean, especially the ones that contains fluoride, and you wash, you're supposed to spit it, rinse your brush, and you go. So that your mouth will still carry the mint and the freshness. That is the point. But in a go copy or you go in a copy there halfway. So now some of you, because of your mind, you say, with all those kelebe, fine, put small water, rinse and spit and go. The idea is that let that freshness still remain in the mouth. And those fluoride is supposed to keep your enamel, this thing that is white, is supposed to keep it intact and strong. So, but what is the use of putting a whole macron in your mouth, then you wash everything off? It's useless. So, as I said, knowledge is very important.
So, my question is a bit different, and I don't know the English name for that thing. Like, what's the constant cause of baja? Some people say mozubu, but me, I don't think it's mozubu. Because
no, it's actually paresthesia. That's the medical term.
Please, what's the constant cause of it?
Okay. Okay, let me start like this. If I'm correct, you let me know. If you're sitting too long in the toilet, you know some of you carry your phone to the toilet. Pool that is supposed to be 2 minutes, 23 minutes. Yeah, there you say, that's so back at the play. What do you do this? You spend and you check all kinds of things. All you don't know is that that particular thing you're doing is very unhealthy. So, as you are sitting, the water system, the head there, is transacting some blood vessel there and the nerves. Sometimes when you stand up, your leg will begin to shock you. You feel numbness. Yes. What you've just done, you've just created a temporary form of paresthesia, which is that kwaja. Now, there are some problems that can cause it. If you have any kind of activity you do that is always causing tightness, like a tourniquet around the blood flow to the leg, you can have it. One. But there are some sicknesses that can give you that, especially diabetes. In fact, one of the ways you know that somebody has long-standing untreated diabetes, he starts telling you of paresthesia under the leg, paja under the leg, and you'll be feeling it. The first thing will tell you, go and do your fasting blood sugar. It's very important. Now, it's not the same with mozupu. Mozupu is exertion of mozu, and there is no adequate oxygen to metabolize. Okay, I don't enter science. The long and short of it is that when there's not enough oxygen in your mozu, it will now steeve. That's mozupu. It's different from what he's saying. So a lot of times, what people do is that when you experience that tingling sensation, you shake, move, you do some form of therapy, squat, stand up, run around, massage the leg. It can help you if it's a physiologic one, if it's just an ordinary one. But if it's a problem, please come to the hospital. They will check. There's what we call Doppler ultrasound. They will check. If there's any problem with your blood flow, they will also check. Now, that's the one thing I want to say. Please, don't be eating the whole of your money. There is what we call saving for the rainy day. That's a topic for another day. But why am I saying it? Health in Nigeria now, in fact, most parts of the world, is very expensive. And nobody plans to be sick. Yes, but it comes. So don't be found that there's a point in time you don't have small change to enter hospital and say, okay, help me quickly do this one. It's not a good mentality. We pray, plan, and do everything in this part of the world except health. Then we'll go and sit down and be taking agbo. That reminds me, my brother talked about agbo. Do you know that most of those agbo, they mix it with Sprite and 7-Up? That's what gives it the sweetness. So the thing is that agbo in itself is not a problem if they can measure it and prove it that it works. Most of us, even me inclusive, I grew up taking agbo. In fact, you cannot come to my house and say stomach is paining you. They will give you one correct cup. You drink it. Once you say, Jenny, your bottom is itching you, drink. But the thing is this, that thing we are doing, our body is able to readjust and handle it. So the toxicity, the liver will flush it, send it to the kidney, and you piss it out. But when you keep taking it, like the Hausa man says, sometimes you may overwhelm the capacity of your organ to clean your body for yourself. Then you now start having liver issue or you have kidney issue. There are people who have died from agbo. Please make no mistake. There are some who have gotten hepatitis B and C from agbo because of the things they use. They keep them and they are not well dried. And once something dries and it has all these, what they call, okay, let me not go too much into science. There's one particular organism, white, God bless you. Once you see it like fungal infection, but it's not. Fungal is even a small thing. But once you see that thing inside your agbo, please don't drink it. Please. And what they will do most times is, they will now blow it off and they will now give you two, you now drink it. They are just drinking problem. Don't tell your parents.
Okay. My question goes like this. You talked about the tongue as a dirtiest part of the body. Now, what about the use of mouthwash and the mouth spray? Is it also bad? And secondly, you said we think that going like, okay, we like ourselves by not using public toilet in the sense that we have to go home and use our own personal toilet. That's it. You said it's storing of urine that causes infection here. So you mean we can go in there and like just squat and then we and come outside. But I guess they said it's bad. And thirdly, I'm talking about the vaginal wash, the feminine wash. The doctor said Femme Fresh is actually bad compared to Oriflame. So I don't know if you can expatiate very much on it so we can understand.
She wants to put me on the spot, but I'll dodge it. I don't want to go into company-related issues because you see, when you start comparing products and you leave the main science, you are now exposed or you are liable to a suit because you are now. I'm not an ambassador of Oriflame. Say they should invite my boss, so I have an idea about what they do. For the other branch she called, I don't know much about it. But for a doctor to tell you that there must be something he has noticed from the content, and that's why we need to see what is in the content for us to be able to talk very well. Now, you people talk about toilet infection. The truth is, for you women, please listen very well. Most of the times, your psyche plays a role in the way you feel. Let me give you an instance. A lady came to the clinic and she said she's pressed. We say, okay, use the bathroom. She said, really? We say, yes. That is very clean. They just finished cleaning it and sanitizing. She entered, she peed. And she said, wow, that she never believed hospital toilet can be this clean. It's very clean. She likes it. So somebody now said, this lady has cois, that we should tell her that it's not clean and see what will happen. Like joke. I said, let me play along. I said, madam, no, it's not clean. No. Somebody that has infection just finished using it. He said, what? As she was seated, that what that she said, she started itching herself. On the spot. And I said, madam, no, na joke at the joke. But we couldn't change it. All of a sudden, that information I gave her, that the toilet was dirty, she started itching herself. And I'm not joking, rash came. Because we had to go and check it. And we now discovered that is even a psychosomatic thing. Psycho means mind, body, soma. So there are some of you, when you have heartbreak, headaches start bothering you. Did they break your head? The head. But all of a sudden, the pain is paining your heart. Then they start causing headache. It's just, that's how, it's a psychological thing. So a lot of times, we normally tell you, it is better to go and pee in a dirty toilet than store urine. If you pee in a dirty toilet, it's a 50-50 chance. You may have infection, you may not have it. But if you store urine, by the grace of God, it's 100%. You will get the infection. So, for the mouthwash and other things, no, I leave that. because I can't speak much about mouth spring. Most people who use those things are people with halitosis. There's a medical condition of mouth odor. It doesn't matter the amount of wash you wash, the mouth will smell. So they will recommend those things for you.
So my question goes like this. When we're growing in secondary school, when you talk about puberty, did you say shaving stick is the best way, like it's the best thing to use in any shaving, your private part on your armpit? But when growing up, my auntie always said shaving stick is not good. If it tears you, it has this, that. And I heard of this thing, hair remover, cream hair remover, clipper. I was like, what brought all this to that? Is it hygienic? Is there anything? What did I know? So I want to ask you the question, is it hygienic?
Thank you very much. Before I answer your question, let me deviate a bit. And I want to say this because sometimes I don't know how you feel. There was a woman that wanted to give birth, and her private part, her vagina, was hair. And the annoying part, you know those hair that has fungal infection? Yes. You don't know it. God will not let you know it. So that's what she has. Very disgusting. Madam, why don't you shave? He said, now so my husband, I like him. He like him. I say, no problem. So, but the problem now is that we needed to sew her because she had a tear. So anytime we want to sew, we carry the forceps. If we want to pick the needle, we pick the hair. Hey! Sorry, we go again. Hey! Sorry, we go again. So we keep, instead of, because it's like putting needle inside bush. So you need to be seeing what you are picking. If you cannot see, you keep pulling ahead. So normally in my antenatal class, I advise most of the women before 9 months, whether your husband like hair or not, before 9 months, shave. You can call him, honey, please come and shave me. Romance, let him shave it for you. But tell him that it is temporary. Timba tibi matan, I will leave the bush for you. Now, this is my point. I say that to say this. Majority of the people don't like hair in that part. And we will always recommend that you look for a way to shave. But you must understand that everybody's body is different. As I am now, I can't use shaving stick to shave. If I try it, the next day you'll be asking me, kilo bumps everywhere. And if I use clipper, nothing happens to me. So some people are like that. Once they use shaving stick in the armpit, for the next 2 or 3 days, they'll be walking like this, as if they are proud. But it's because of those reactions. If you are that kind of person, then look for either the clipper. Now there's this one that is round. You just put it on it and now money. It's not only Oraimo, sir. There are other brands. But you just put it and it will just scrape. No, please. I don't mean it that way, please. But I'm just trying to. He said Oraimo, and he called the brand he knows. But even Gillette has that kind of thing. And you just put it, and it will just scrape. It will smoothen the hair on it, so you are not exposed to having aftershave rash. For those that don't like hair cream remover, that's an option. But for me, I don't mind. I use hair cream remover. Because that's what my wife likes to use. So since she buys for herself, the day I remember after I put my thing and I bath, I remove it. But some people are sensitive and reactive to that hair cream remover. So look for the one that works for you. Our own is that make sure that place is chicken.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, my own question is, number one, is it possible for genotype to change? Because you can go to one hospital, when they check it, they say it's AS. You go to another one, you might say it's SS. So is it possible for genotype to change? That's one. And again, sir, I would like you to explain about the attribute of each type of headache that we have. You know, sometimes we might have frontal headache. What is it related to? It might be the size sometimes. Sometimes people say, I can't me buy low for me. What is actually happening? And again, the last one, sir, I would like you to explain to us about resource factor.
It's as if we want to start lecture afresh. How will I do this now? Because everything he has mentioned is a full topic on its own. Each will take me nothing less than 1 hour. Yes. And I sincerely don't have that kind of time. Okay, let me start with this easiest. There is no way genotype can change. I believe in miracle. But if it's not miraculous, it is human error. As simple as that. And anything human being handles is prone to error. And that is the reason why a lot of times don't just do tests in one place. Yes, you might think it's money wastage, but a lot of times, even the best of centers, all you need is to have one stupid person who did not wake up well, and you mix your samples. That is the end. Even in the best of centers. So anywhere there's human being, there's error. So, but if your genotype is this, most times it will remain that. So except you now beg God, and God did a miracle for you and change it. And once God has done the miracle for you, if you go and do it, you will see that it has changed. Not that it will still be showing you the same thing, then you say it has changed. No. Most times, the miracle of God will also show in medical science. So you cannot say you are blind and you say you are seeing now, and we check you medically, you are blind. There's problem. You understand me? So he talks about headaches. I would touch that in briefly, because you see the description of that types of headaches is to give you a guide, not that you will now sit down. Any day you have right headache, you say, BP meeting also okay. Then when you have left, you say, it been by me. No. Is to guide the health practitioners to know what and what to look out for. For instance, if correct man slap you, you go get headache. And if you are owing somebody and you are hungry, and the headache can be the same. So I don't want to sit down here in a public setting and begin. I know what he's saying exactly. In fact, there's one on social media that say, agents of me, they ban me headache, Tori Limba for him by go, all those things, the social media gimmicks. Don't follow it. When you have headache, please come to the hospital. Let me give you an instance. Do you know that if you have a tumor in the brain, the kind of headache you will have might be similar to somebody who has high BP? So how will you know? And I can tell you that there are 1,001 things that will give you headache. At a point in time, you will not know which one. If I tell you, okay, 300 causes, 300 of this causes this headache, 300 of this causes this, I'm actually misleading you. So that headache, just leave it. But this is what we normally see. When you're having headaches, please check your BP. And that's why nobody comes to the hospital and say, doctor, I'm having bad headaches. And the doctor will say, go and do tests without doing your BP. Is it that the doctor is a quack or he forgot? No properly trained doctor will not check your BP. Even if he doesn't do it himself, he will tell the nurses to check you. So let's leave it at that. Now, for resource factor issue, everybody did biology here, right? That's B. Okay. We have how many types of blood group? We have A, we have B, we have AB, and we have O. These are the four cardinal types of blood group. We have other types of, when you start going deep, you start hearing leaf you start hearing all kinds of, it's when you are talking of the surface, you talk about these words. But there is a protein that is common in majority of us, and that is the rhesus D protein. What is it? What I'm simply saying is that on your blood group, there is something like a coat that is on it. It's common in almost about 62% of the population. So, and what that means is that you have the rhesus positive protein. Now, the protein there, the origin is a story for another time. They said it came from the rhesus monkey, blah, blah, blah. You don't need those information. But this is where the problem comes from. Once you are about to marry, and you know as a woman, your blood group is rhesus negative, please make sure that you go to a proper hospital when you are pregnant. Once you discover that you are negative, how many of you know your blood group here? Sisters? Okay, is anybody negative here? Negative means that you don't have that rhesus protein. Aha. So if you don't know or you don't have it, it tells you that there are few people that is rhesus negative. Now, that rhesus negativity is what divides the four blood groups that I mentioned into two categories. So we have rhesus A and we have A positive and we have A negative. We have B positive and we have B negative. We have AB positive and we have AB negative. We have O positive and we have O negative. So, based on that, you are now divided into another group. I won't go into details because of time. My phone has been buzzing. But this is the key thing from rhesus issue. If you are rhesus negative as a woman and you marry a rhesus positive man, please, there is an injection that they give you to prevent recurrent abortion. The simple thing is that if you can born the first one and it's positive, every other conception you take, your body will kill it. Did you hear me? Or I should read myself. Yes. Now, this is the thing. Because you are rhesus negative and you married a rhesus positive man, if the child, your first child, is rhesus positive, your body will see that child as an enemy. So, your body will begin to mobilize soldiers that is going to fight and kill that enemy. But before your body succeeds in doing it, you have given birth. Then the body will do like this. Then those soldiers will now wait for the next delivery. The next conception, once it is positive, the body will kill it. If it's 7 times you are pregnant and it's positive, it will kill it 7 times. So you start hearing all kinds of things. And this one now, Banji, you don't use a begin do ritual. You don't do those kind of things. Once you do simple rhesus tests, you just discover that it is the rhesus factor. And we have anti-D that we give. There's an injection. As big as all this drama is, once you take the injection at the right time, you escape. And that is the reason why knowledge is important. Because you see, most of us, we just saw the man. He just move your belly butterflies. You just fall in love. You marry. You born. And you start living your life. So you have no clue is not as simple for some people. And once trouble enter, you will now discover that that butterfly cannot sustain you to fly. Knowledge is very powerful. I drop the mic here. Thank you very much.